I'm quite confused about the Google Pixel Watch. And this is not going to be a debate on whether the watch is worth it or not, because that's not fair to do. The watch isn't here. From all accounts and from everything I've seen, it looks like an incredibly well-built device with premium materials. I love the way the lugs kind of are inset with the change of the bands. I think that's a unique and interesting little wrinkle that they've added there in order to make the watch seem pretty seamless when you're taking bands on and off, and the different design elements that they've chosen there. And I don't care about the bezels, especially if the bezels are touch sensitive, so you can still do stuff in the UI with them despite them being there. That's not what this conversation is going to be about. I'm confused with the price point that they've chosen and that the device and the features that they've chosen to have based on a couple different things. First off, that $349 and $399 if you want LTE price point immediately puts you in the same category as the Apple Watch, as the Galaxy Watch, as some of the Garmin offerings that have a lot of things to them, as some of the Tick watches that are there, the Amazfit watches. So I don't know why for your first offering you'd put yourself in that position to be compared basically to the entire smartwatch industry. I figured they'd want to start out a little bit lower, even if you have to go down a little bit on the build materials, or if you have to go down on the feature set, whatever it happens to be, to get yourself to that low 200 range and undercut that Apple Watch SE a little bit, and undercut some of the cheaper Galaxy Watch offerings, especially when it comes down to a 41 millimeter case design. So that's interesting, because you're going to be up against some players who have been here for a while. And if you're that confident in your device, I guess you go ahead and say, you know what, we don't want to have to increase the price down the line. We know it's a quality offer and we're going to put it at $349, but be prepared for the criticism that comes from that. And we've talked about it a lot on this channel. Companies get to choose the bar that their devices are held to. They get to choose it with the price of the device. And at $349, people are going to be asking a heck of a lot of that device, especially when you're going against some incumbents like the Apple Watch and the Galaxy Watch. It's confusing because you're going to want your first time maker of watches, you're going to want people to try to take a chance on you. So what's the main thing that you want? Yeah, you have the fitness stuff, you have the Fitbit stuff. There's a lot of Fitbit devices out there for cheaper. Those Garmin devices that we talked about. The Apple stuff, especially if you have an iPhone, you're probably not looking at a Pixel Watch anyway, but just for comparison's sake, if the Apple Watch stuff is pretty strong on fitness, the Galaxy Watches have their certain things that they have with that as well. So you'd want something a little extra to get people to go ahead and switch to you and to take a chance. So if you already have an Apple Watch, so let's say you already have a Galaxy Watch, and you've had a few of them now and you're comfortable with them, what's the thing that's going to get you to really take a dive and completely switch a device that you have on your wrist all the time with an unknown quantity? To me, that would be price. If you could come in with something similarly spec'd with the build quality that they're talking about and come in at $229, $249, $199 might be a little unrealistic given what they've put into it and the different machine learning and all the rest of it that they have in that device. So that might be a stretch. But I don't think $249, if you take a few things away, would have been out of the question. And that certainly would have been something attractive to get people to switch over the device on their wrist. The second thing that makes this confusing for me is that it's the only device that they have that doesn't really match with the ecosystem that they're trying to flesh out now. They have a whole lineup of impressive products now that directly go after the established kind of flagship upper end market. You have the Pixel 7, again at $599, which I believe is a very smart choice. You have an incredibly attractive Pixel 7 Pro at $899. We're going to talk about that device when it gets here, because I think they've done a little bit more to differentiate and try to make it worth it, that extra $300 that you'd be spending the Pro to the regular 7. Whether they've done that or not, we'll go ahead and talk about. But they've got that, so you've got kind of the Samsung flagship killers at $599 and $899 there. Then you have something like the Pixel Buds. You have the A-series buds that come in at $99, and even the Pro series comes in at $199, which is attractive, still $50 less than the Apple Buds offering, the AirPods offering. There's that there. Then you've got the different stuff that they're going to have with the tablet, which doesn't seem like a super premium tablet, right? Doesn't seem like a tablet that's going to come in at $1,000. That seems like the everyman tablet, or the Amazon competitor tablet, or the low-end iPad competitor tablet, given the size of it, given the build materials, given the look of it, and given the function that they show, the functionality that they showed off, that seems like it's going to be a lower price tablet, not cheap tablet, but in the mid-tier range of tablets. But then on the watch, they don't do that. They don't complete the ecosystem that they have there. They go full on with price. And I was like, I would have liked to have seen something in a similar vein there. I would have liked to have seen a lower cost watch, not a cheap watch, but an upper mid-tier priced watch that has the functionality that matches the rest of the family of devices that Google's put together. Because if you think about it, if you've got a Pixel 7, the just standard one, it's $599, and you're going to get the watch at $349. If you're someone who uses LTE and absolutely loves it, you do a lot of hiking, you do a lot of running, and you don't want to take your phone with you, and you have LTE at $399, I mean, think about the price difference there. You're paying almost a 2/3 of what you paid for your phone on the watch, and it's an unknown quantity with the watch to boot. I just thought that was odd. Not saying it's not going to be worth it. It looks incredibly well done. And if it's actually the software and the whole experience matches with the build quality that they've put there and the design language that they've put there, I understand the aesthetic of it and everything that they've done, it might very well be worth $349. My questioning comes, and the confusion for me comes, why did they even feel the need to compete up there? Why didn't they come up with something that would be a little bit more suited to what they're trying to do and perhaps be a little bit more attractive to people to get them to switch from these already established brands? And you're saying, well, why did the other ones get it? Well, just because they were first. That's why. Just because they were there first. Doesn't mean they're better. Doesn't mean anything else. They were there first. They're the established brands. They're on a lot of risks. Millions of people have the Galaxy Watch, the Apple Watch, and you want to talk about the Garmin devices, all the way down the line. You have to have something different that gets them to say, you know what? When it's time to upgrade, I'm going to dump this, and I'm going to go with this. A completely different design, a completely different everything. And I thought, for me, the most attractive thing and the most powerful thing for consumers is usually the price. Unless you have something that's far and away better than everybody else. And I don't really see that there. I don't really see that in the Pixel Watch. I see a really good product that probably, all things considered, if they had released them at the same time, would have been on par with those other devices, no problem. Especially if you already have a Pixel, you're part of that environment, part of the Pixel experience, the computational stuff with the voice and the transcribing and all the rest of it, probably would be just fine. But now, like you had to try to get people to take a chance on the Pixel 6 devices last year, you had to get them to switch. And what was the switch? We're going to give you the near flagship experience, flagship build quality, but going to bring it to you at the base model at $599. Where is that catch? Where is that hook with the Pixel Watch? To me, it's not there. Let me know what you think down below, though. It still doesn't mean it's not going to be a fantastic device. But if you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day.